Zach Maslany now making his way to the stage. Back to fireworks, ladies and gentlemen.
I wanted to give a shout out to my boy Zach from 10th Planet Bethlehem.
He's a beast. He's a savage. Him and JM holding down the fort at 10th Planet Bethlehem. Who's doing it better than them? Very few.
Okay. From here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. No blackjack, no dope deals, no nothing. A nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in.
G-Unit! Ha-ha! Yo, what up? Zach's Corner Podcast, Volume 9. That was the G-Unit leading us in. What up? I got my cousin Matt Gogel here with me, making his podcast debut. Let me turn this mic right
Yo,
here.
what up?
What's up, man? So, the podcast, this is number 9, the 9th one that I've done, so I'm really pumped. A lot of people have been hitting me up being like, yo, thanks for doing a podcast. It's really dope. Like the last one that I did hasn't even come out yet. I don't even know. I'm like talking in past and present tense because you haven't even heard the last one. I'm talking about it, but I was just going nuts on that one, talking mad stuff, just talking about like a lot of stuff coming up. And that's why I'm glad that Matt's here because he's my cousin. We've known each other for like, we're basically brothers. We've known each other for like a good billion years. And he was there going through some of the hard times I was talking about. Not even hard times, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of the times, the tougher times when we were like broke as shit, like living at my old crib. And you were there when Finisher started. So
yeah, absolutely.
Remember so we had Matt, you moved in, and how long did you live with me? I forget. You lived at me at my old crib.
About a year, I think.
A year? And you took over the attic.
Yeah, Skylight Lounge, baby.
Yeah, we called it because actually, if you guys don't know, Finisher's Jiu-Jitsu was the first thing we called it. But even before Finisher's Jiu-Jitsu, there was my old house that we used to watch football at all the time and we watch UFC, we watch football, we watched freaking baseball games. We'd have a football game on in one room and a baseball game on in another room. And that's when I wasn't like heavily training. Like I wasn't training and running a school. Like I just trained here and there. And I was like working 3 regular jobs, I think. And Matt, you just had one job though, right?
Yeah.
And you worked at, I forget, where was the place?
Penske.
Oh, that's right. You worked at Penske. Yeah, we both hated our jobs big time.
Yeah, that job sucked.
That job did suck. We would basically come home and we would both come home from our jobs and hang out and then drink beers. And then we would lift weights. We would just go in my garage, and this was when I was plotting my comeback. A lot of people were like counting me out and shit like that, and I had crappy jobs, and I was like, yo, I'm coming back, son. I don't care what anyone says. This is before this. I already had, I had MMA fights, and I had been training for a long time. I got my black belt in karate, got my secondary black belt, did the golden gloves, I did kickboxing matches, maybe like 4 MMA fights, and then eventually, I went through, I was in a long relationship, and once I got out of that, you were also in a decently long relationship, kind of.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got together, and we're like, oh, shit. We were kids. We always wanted to live together, too, though.
Yeah.
I was always like, dude, there were a couple times where we're like, bro, if we had our own place, that'd be sick. We grew up at, like, our grandmother's place, so, we were just there all the time, just hanging out and playing with all of our toys and crazy shit, and my grand making us French fries and all types of stuff.
Yeah, you started taking night classes during the week.
At night
training,
like jiu-jitsu? Oh yeah. I started going back to training with JM. But we would train at Tiger Schulman in Bethlehem there. Sensei Wiesel, shout out to Sensei V. We would train there late at night at I would go in at like 10:30, and we train like when it wasn't regular class. It was like me, JM, George, Mike Ortiz. There were a bunch of other randos there. Like a couple guys fell off. Chris Pintato, Tim Kunkel. There were a bunch of random dudes. I can't even remember. And then there were other guys that I did train with in class, like Greg and Matt and other dudes. But before that, though, before I did go back, I didn't want to just go back to heavy martial arts training because I knew JM and Mike Ortiz would kick my ass. And they did when I first went back. I was like, shit. I was like, damn, new guys and this, young JM just whooping my ass into the bags. Like at Tiger Schulman's, they used to just have like a line of bags in the corners, like everybody's gear bag. And those guys I was so out of shape, they were punching me into the bags. I would just be falling into the bags and shit. But before I went back, though, we used to just go and I had like a garage detached from my old place. And it was really cold out there. And because, it was winter. And we would go out, start the kerosene heater.
Yeah.
Start the kerosene heater and then go out there and lift weights. And we did other shit too, though. We did, we made up our own workouts. We hit the mitts. Yeah, we hit mitts. We had a heavy bag, kettlebell. We had like designated sections. So like growing up, I remember, when they wanted to work us out when we were kids, they would just put us through heavy cardio sessions where you'd be jumping up on a step and jumping down, jumping up on a step, jumping down. And you're doing that for like 3 minutes or some crazy shit. But I think we would do it for maybe less, maybe like a minute. Maybe it'd be like a minute.
Yeah, I think it was like a minute.
It was like a minute, and then you'd get 30 seconds, then you go to the next one. Then it might be like hitting the bag. Then you're just going for a minute, like, balls out, hitting the bag. Then it might be like doing, an ab workout. Then it was like, what else? I forget even what else we had. And then we would do a couple rounds of mitts.
Ran on the treadmill.
That was one. And then we would do bicep curls. What was that? I forget what that was called. It was like you put all the weights on first, and then you do a curl, and then you take 2 weights off, then you do another curl.
It's like burnouts or something like that?
Burnouts? Yeah, because your arm's burnt. That's why, dude. Your arms are toast, dude, after that. But I do remember when we had one of the Sunday parties or whatever, and everybody came over and was drinking and stuff, and we just like I just remember like there was a picture, like I don't know if I was doing like the Shawn Michaels DX or some shit, and I was like, damn, my arms were cannons even back then when I wasn't really training. It's because I was doing those fucking curls, dude. I'm like, I just remember like I'm coming back. I'm willing myself back to this. I don't give a shit. And then we did and then we benched too.
Made up your mind at that time.
Yeah.
And just said you're coming back and you never stopped since then.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why like I like now I can just speak from experience. Like it's weird because it's martial arts, but there's so many different things. Like what other things? I'm sure there's other things. Like I just don't know that you could just get back into that. Like just so happens that you can make martial arts into a business because a lot of hobbies, people just I have a hobby. I do jiu-jitsu like twice a week or whatever. Like that's different from like having to do it full time.
Yeah, but that's also their passion.
Yeah. It's true. That's what I'm saying. But other people have other passions. If you get into something, you just got to figure like, you could always turn things around. Like it was cool. It was really cool to make that comeback, man. It was dope. It was like, I feel like sometimes I think to myself, like, because you remember when I was fighting when I was a kid, like 19, 20 and stuff, people just thought I was doing karate, but I was actually doing fighting.
Yeah.
I was actually doing MMA, but they called it no holds barred. And this weekend I saw my buddy John Robinson. He was there, and it was cool seeing him too, because he owns a jiu-jitsu company now, which is dope. And then he was there for, he helped me out when I was a kid. Like, we remember, like, all that shit. He was doing NHB, they called it. But then I took, like, a long break because I thought, how am I going to, like, really at the time, I was like, how am I going to make money doing this? Like, no one thinks I'm anything, you know what I mean? I just didn't know how, like, I always wanted to run a school, though. I was like, one day, and then.
I remember talking about that in the kitchen with you and JM. That was like a dream. You guys did it.
Yeah, we just kind of like, dude, you can literally. I feel like if you really want something bad enough, you could will yourself into it. You can like push yourself into that situation. I feel like you can, and a lot of times people just make excuses and they go, "Oh, I know this is gonna sound like an excuse, but." Blah, 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 blah. And that's exactly what it is, a freaking excuse, And like, it's easy for you to say, you have a successful business. People will say that to me. I'm like, yeah, but, dude, that's why I love, like, I love you and I love JM and I love all the guys. And like, the people that were there, obviously, you're a fan. Like JM is my family now too. I feel like you guys are just like my brothers, because I've known you longer, but you guys, everybody, he was there doing it with me, but you saw us and motivated us from the beginning, like you and like all the guys that were hanging out. Even shout out to Marino and Make It's and all those guys, dude. Like there were even some of my friends dogged me and like didn't believe in me, but like all of your buddies always believed in the school and always believed in me fighting and shit. Even those guys even think I'm better than I am. They think I will kill somebody. I'm like, dude, I'm good. But
shout out to Big Marsh, by the way.
Yeah, Marsh, everybody, dude, Mold, the whole crew, even the girls, man. Even the girls, they always like would say positive things and ask me questions about it and stuff. All your friends, which is cool, man, because it means a lot to me. And they always came to my shit too. Like if we had a party, they would always come and hang out. It was really cool. Yeah,
I would just stay at home and tank beers till you got home.
What, late at night? You mean?
Yeah.
We watched a lot of murder mysteries. But not murder mysteries. Disappeared. Yes, I was actually going to talk about it. I was actually going to talk about that on one of the other podcasts. Disappeared is such a good show, guys. Go out and buy the whole thing if you're into that type of stuff. Disappeared. And the people really did. They never showed at the end what happened to the people.
No, they just fell off. They never found them.
Yeah, they never. Most of the people they never found. So remind me. I want to go on.
Remember, we would say. If I ever disappear, I'm going to get Wendy's before I disappear.
Yeah, at least let us get Wendy's. That will be his last stop. And Kat just luckily reminded us because we totally forgot. And we were just talking about the show Disappeared. Disappeared is, basically they just show the whole timeline of what happened to a person. And at the end, they kind of just sum it up with, we've never found him. So, which is a lot of times you want to watch. And you figure at the end, because when I first started watching the show, I figured at the end they would just show you like update, this person's body was found at whatever. I mean, God forbid, I don't want to have their body found, but if they were actually found, that'd be better. So shout out to all the people who disappeared. I hope they find you. But yeah, they didn't show what happened at the end, right?
Nah, they just vanished.
That was it.
They were gone.
We should look that up online because I think online you can find. I think they might have updated some stuff. So.
That was a good show.
Yeah, that was an awesome show. There's some new ones. There's like Missing and stuff, but nothing will be Disappeared. Disappeared was probably the best out of all. What else was I going to bring up?
The ID channel is pretty crazy.
Yeah, the ID channel's got some stuff. Forensic Files, obviously. Dateline on ID. That's another good one.
It just makes you realize how much weird shit is going on in the world.
Yeah, like if you just, the news will definitely make things worse than it really is, I feel. But you'll also sit at home and watch this and be like, wow, like I'm just in a, depending on, I don't know everyone's situation, but I'm just in a regular neighborhood with, maybe there's like an old lady or there's maybe some like creepy old person or something like that. But for the most part, you're around normal people. You go to the grocery store, everything's cool. You're not, someone's getting murdered and leaving all their, like the one I saw where the woman disappeared and they left all these snakes and parrots and stuff, and like someone left all the snakes and parrots out. Like you're like, what type of situation are you in that you own like 100 snakes and like 50 parrots, and then someone, hopefully that person gets found, but someone takes them away and they found like a blood droplet and there was like a life insurance plan and like the body's not found. It's like, what is going on? Are those, what happened to those snakes, man? Or wait, it wasn't snakes. Yeah, it was snakes and parrots. But I'm trying to think what other shows on there. And then Netflix has, you watch Making a Murderer?
Yeah,
that was good. I talked about that one before. And then you watch the other one with the staircase, the Peterson trial.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
That one pissed me off.
Why? What do you think happened? It was drawn out.
That guy definitely did it.
That's what a lot of people said. But JM actually came up with another thing he found online that they think an owl did it. Kat, did you watch that one?
An owl?
Yeah.
Where, in the attic?
The Peterson case?
Yeah, we watched it, but an owl?
Yeah, so an owl, what I think might have happened was, what they think, because there were claw marks, it looked like claw marks, and there was an owl feather found like in her hair. if you can believe that, right? These are true things, right? You have to look
not
at
true.
Look into
That
it.
is so
Look into it. And also, what happened is, what else? What's up?
Why did they have an owl?
No, they didn't have an owl, but in that area where they lived, there were other owl attacks.
Just owl.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm going to look it up online after this podcast, and we will come up with it. It's the owl theory. I told Eddie.
If you're into conspiracy,
Yeah.
that's
Look
you
into
would
it.
think would
I
happen.
told Eddie Bravo about it, and he was definitely interested. And he said, "Holy shit!" That's what he commented back when I messaged it to him. So
The infested owl area.
yeah, I'm telling you, I'm going to look it up. Look into it.
Don't worry.
people.
I mean, like, you might lose your life, but will you lose your life by an owl?
Hey, what if you never know what can happen? That's what I'm saying. There's a ton of weird shit going on out there.
And everybody thinks it's your husband who, like, pretty much did it.
And there was another woman, if you really look at that case, there was another woman who also died in Germany, who also died at the bottom of a staircase. Like, he probably did it.
Oh,
It was either him or the owl. Either one. I'm
Yeah,
not
Did
then
the
sure.
owl, did the owl
Wasn't he
kill the
married
girlfriend?
twice?
He was married twice, yeah. And
And
the
his
other wife
aunt
died kind of in the same way.
Yeah, dude, he did
So
it.
he probably did it.
Oh my
But
gosh.
you know what? Do your own research. Don't listen to us. We're not experts on this. Definitely look into it. But
We
so
definitely don't know about owls.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, we don't know about owls. Have you been to the Lehigh Valley Zoo? Go to the Lehigh Valley Zoo. They got some owls over there. The claws on them things, they'll tear you to shreds. I swear to God. So today we're here. Today we're gonna watch we have a long history, a hate-love relationship with the Buffalo Bills.
That is correct.
The Buffalo Bills. Matt's still a huge fan. I like the Bills, obviously, and I'm going to watch the game today. And I'm drinking a I'm not drinking Samuel Adams. The glass says Samuel Adams. You're drinking a Yingling.
We got Oktoberfest going on here.
Yeah, I got an Oktoberfest beer because it's October. And we're going to watch the Buffalo Bills. We've been fans of them since we were kids. We grew
Go
up.
Jets!
Yeah, Kat's a Jets fan. But neither me nor Kat really watch the Bills or the Jets, really. I think we tried to watch one game and we just kind of gave up on it because, I don't know. I just haven't been really
They haven't
into
been
sports.
good for years.
Yeah, they
Both
haven't.
teams honestly don't have the best track record. So, actually, the Bills were doing well that one
Hey, wait.
last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Then
Wait,
just
did they
traded
make
all
it to
their
the
players.
playoffs or no?
Yeah.
Wait. Well, hold on. Let's start over. So, we've liked them since we were kids because our aunt and uncle lived in Buffalo at the time, right? So our aunt has since then moved back. But obviously we're not traders. We're not just gonna jump bandwagon on some other team like the Eagles or some rando team. Like, we were fans of them since the beginning. So really watching the Bills growing up as kids has been, crazy because they keep winning and losing and winning and losing.
Mostly.
Yeah, but they will win and get all the way to the playoffs and then lose. They made it to the Super Bowl. If you guys don't know anything about football, they did make it to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row, lost them all. So when I was a kid, when I was real young,
It's great stuff.
I don't remember the first one. But I do remember the second, third, and fourth. So
Wide right.
I was young, but I kind of remember
like 45-3.
one time that was by the Redskins,
I
right?
forget.
Yeah.
Either that or the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, yeah. The Redskins, like, it just every time. It's like now when I watch, because I watch a lot of fights, and it's the same thing. It's like when I watch fights, like, let's say, and I'm not really fans of many guys. Like, I like McGregor. I like the Diaz brothers. I like, sometimes if rarely if I put money on them, that's different. But, and I rarely do that. But if I do, when I see the guys come out and I know the guy's going to lose right from the beginning, it just does remind me of the Bills. Like, right when they come out and they just do something completely bonehead, or like they just run, the running game sucks, or, they would just make dumb ass decisions. And you could just tell from the beginning, like, and that's one of the reasons why, not that why, but I just haven't had time. But one of the reasons why I haven't been so deeply into sports as I was when I was a kid, because it created a lot of anxiety, and where I would flip out and fucking throw things and get freaking mad and lose my gourd. I would just get pissed and walk outside, punch shit, break a broom stick or something like that. Like, I'd be like, why? Just why? Why? Like, I remember one time it was a Monday night game and I'm watching the game by myself and like drinking a couple beers and stuff. And this is like years ago. And they're playing Monday night and they go up. Tony Romo for the Cowboys throws 4 picks in the beginning, in like the first quarter, and 2 of them are run back. And they score like, it's like,
I remember that game.
Yeah, it's like whatever to nothing or 3 or some shit like that. And then all of a sudden they come back and win. The Cowboys come back and win by a field goal, 51 or 54 to 51 or something like that, right? And they're lining up for like a 55-yard kick or 56. I'm like, you know what? There's no way they make this, right? And I couldn't even watch. And then when they made the kick, I fucking punched. I turned around and just right hooked my wall. And I just remember being so mad. And I was like, now when I look back at that, I'm like, why was I so pissed?
They did that old thing where they did kick it, but they called timeout, and he missed it, and then he had to re-kick it, and they made it.
Yeah. Like, why was I so pissed? I don't understand.
I think the year that I was living with you, I think the Bills went 5-0 to start.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they lost 9 straight.
Yeah. So in the beginning, it was like, that's what I mean, though. That's the other thing with sports. Like, the only team or a player that I really liked back in the day that won all time was, take a guess, Michael Jordan. And everyone liked Michael Jordan, though. Like, you're a numbskull if you're like a Knicks fan at the time. Unless you're from New York. Like, why would you like the Knicks? Everyone got away. Like, if you're like a different fan in a different state, a lot of times people give you shit. Like, why do you like the Buccaneers, bro? You live in freaking Toronto. It doesn't make any sense. They're from Tampa Bay. Oh, I just like the mascot. Like, people will say that. But yeah, people say that stuff all the time. I
mean, I could see like in the Sixers because I'm from here.
Yeah.
Plus, Allen Iverson was playing at that time.
Right. No, well, he was playing at the time when Jordan came back. Right. I'm talking about original.
Yeah, right.
The original. Like, dude, there were a lot of good players. And sure, the Celtics had Bird and stuff. I'm just saying, though.
You just had to be
like,
a fan
it's just
of Michael
easy.
Jordan.
Yeah, it's easy to be a fan of Jordan and what he's doing. It's like in liking the best guy in the sport. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
Like Jordan would crush.
I hate Tom Brady. So
Yeah, I hate Tom Brady.
Put that
too.
on the record.
Yeah, everyone hates Tom Brady. I don't even like the look. When I look at his face,
Tom Brady, if you hear this, retire, please.
I would love to. If I rolled with Tom Brady, what I would do is I would get him in a heel hook, and I would he would just not tap out. I would go honey hole, inside heel hook, go to the dig, and then just drop my hips as hard as possible and just skadoosh. He's out for 6 months. You know what I mean? That's probably what would happen if me and Tom Brady had to go at it. But so that 4 Super Bowl loss situation really sucked. But what's the current? Let's get a current state of the team. What's going on right now? Oh, why do you say they traded all their players or?
I mean, we barely made the playoffs last year. We made it on a 4th and 10 play from the Bengals.
Still, though, making the playoffs is...
It was huge. We had a 17-year drought.
17 years?
17
That's what I'm
years, they
saying.
haven't even been close to making the playoffs.
Is there any other teams like the Browns?
Browns actually won a few games. No, they won 1 game this year, I think.
Wait, but are they in the playoffs, though?
No,
they
the
haven't made the
not.
playoffs in centuries.
I don't know. Actually, I think they made the playoffs.
Who is their quarterback? Bobby Hebert?
I don't know.
Remember
I don't really know the style of the
Billy
Browns.
Joe Tolliver? Remember all those old quarterbacks? But Steve,
I mean, the Bills have a long list of quarterbacks.
Joe
too.
Montana. What about I don't like. They always say they're gonna. Remember they were gonna move the team to Toronto or some shit.
That would have let me become a free agent
For a fan.
for fan.
Yeah. That's kind of like you got to just, dude. You're not gonna like the Toronto team. That's weak, dude. That's
The Toronto
Canada.
Bills is terrible.
Yeah, that's whack. Would it be the Bills or they'd turn it to like the Raptors or some dumb shit like that?
I don't know. The Raptors is kind of cool name. I might still like them.
Toronto Raptors. That's a basketball team, right? Yeah. That's where Vince Carter played. Yeah, I remember that. So the Bills, I'm not...
The current state, though, I would say the defense is pretty good. They're looking pretty good anyway. They're hit or miss. I mean, they're always on the field.
Who's the big D player they got now? I saw something. I forget what the
Tremaine Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds?
Yeah.
What about on the D line?
He's a rookie.
D line.
Kyle Williams is still playing.
Big white guy.
Yeah.
Big
Jerry
white
Hughes.
guy. What about linebackers?
Tremaine Edmonds.
Oh, okay. What about Takeo Spikes?
He's gone.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's just funny because I remember the old guys. Remember Chris Spielman?
Yeah.
That was a beast too.
He was nuts.
How about
We had that guy who wore that double helmet.
Oh yeah, who was that?
I think it's like Don Beebe or something.
No, Don Beebe was the receiver.
It was Steve Tasker.
Yeah, Tasker. Yeah, he's a commentator now. That's what I'm saying. That's why I do. That's one of the reasons, guys, why I do this podcast, because I can't be getting beat up and like being like fighting all these young kids now. I'm 35 years old, man. I'm gonna do the Joe Rogan. I'm already bald. I'm almost got two full sleeves tattoos. I'm getting some work done soon, and yeah, I know I'm a black belt now under Eddie Bravo. I can do this, guys. UFC, someone in the UFC, if you are working there right now, I'll hire you, boy. Just side me and right when Rogan. I'm already commentating for Maverick, so I'm trying to work my way in. But seriously, I am joking, but I'm also being serious. Like, I would totally be into working for a company like that on the side. Making some cash, if you feel me. That's one of the reasons why I do this podcast. Just to get more experience and stuff. So this is your first podcast, right?
Yep, ever.
Cat's first podcast. There's a bunch of guys, and honestly, my boy Sean Green, he jumped me in back in the day when he started the Sean Green Show, just to get content out. And I just started, coming in on his podcast and giving like the hometown update. I used to call in and like,
shout out to Sean too, because I listened to him. Him and Bill Burr do that.
Oh yeah, he had that. You heard that, right? Yeah. Sean. Cool. Congrats to my buddy Sean. I don't know if I said this or not. He got married to Tess Barker, and I guess it's Tess Green now. And I've known them for years. Sean, one of my best friends. He's pretty much the reason why I got a chance to meet Eddie Bravo, which is cool. Because he moved out to California. You guys know the story if you listen to other episodes, and. Yeah, like Sean.
Sports gambling podcast.
Yeah, he's got the sports gambling podcast. He had Bill Burr on. And what was Bill? I just saw Bill Burr when I was out in Cali. And what's Bill Burr? What was he talking about? I got to go back.
He just calls in and then they talk about the point spread and stuff like that, and who to put money on.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the sports gambling podcast. Like, this podcast is cool. If you can, go and review my podcast. Give us 5 stars and let us know what's up. But
what's cool about it too is Bill plays his podcast on his. Like, if he takes a break from his podcast, he plays Sean's.
Oh shit, nice. Yeah. Dude, that's sick. Yeah, Sean's killing it, man. That sports gambling podcast is I think for sports he's up there in like the top. He's up there in the top. He's getting up there in like top 100, top 50. I have to double check. There's so much shit. I've been so busy I can't look into stuff. Yeah, my bookie, sponsored by them, and also he does he's actually the head writer for that show Ridiculousness that Rob Dyrdek is on.
Yeah.
So he's the writer for that show.
Who, Sean is?
Yeah, Sean.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's balling out. He's killing it out there. I love it. Just from driving out there in a Ford Escort station wagon, stick shift, to living in hostels, working at Quiznos, getting yelled at by old Asian guys, fucking mopping the floor and shit, bullshit jobs. And now he's really doing it, so I'm so pumped for Sean because he deserves it, man. That dude's been working hard in the shadows for years. Now that I figured out how to Skype, I'm going to be able to Skype phone call people, so I'm definitely going to call him up and get him on the podcast too. So like I said, go review us, shit like that. Also too, we'll, what time is it? 12:30. Oh, we got time. Last but not least, I always give people a lot of the guys know that I'm an old hip hop head and I still listen to new rap music, but I'm not the biggest fan of the new guys. But there are some guys like Logic and, I like Sci-Hi, I like, I still like Kid Cudi. I like a bunch of guys that are still putting out music, but there's a ton of dudes that just suck.
I think they're more underground than they are.
Like
Logic and stuff like that they put out. I mean, they have a lot of content, but
yeah, the underground stuff, but it's always been like that. Eminem puts out an album. This last one was really good.
But idiot Lil Xan or whatever the hell.
Lil Xan, oh, that white dude.
Yeah,
Little Xan or Little Kiki or whatever it is. The new guys just suck, and they just don't. And they're trying to say it's like a different thing, and like you don't pay homage. Like for me in jiu-jitsu, when you do a move that someone else like showed you or like you expanded on, let's say it's not even something that showed you, you always pay homage. Like, yo, this freaking John Jock showed me this, or my boy Mike Padilla showed me this, or whatever. You know what I mean? This guy showed me this. And like rap is like the same. Like the guys would always, the guys from our era when we really listened to it, is those guys would always pay homage to the guys who started the game. And that's how it should be. And these new guys are just like, nah, fuck these old guys, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, you guys suck.
It's a lot of auto-tune.
Yeah, auto-tune. It's not their real voice. They mumbling. You can't understand what they're saying.
It's like you don't even have to be an MC anymore to make music.
Well, that's what, honestly, this weekend I was talking about it. Like, Eddie Bravo is out at our school this weekend teaching a seminar. I'm sure I'll talk more about that next week, but or when next week, whatever, next podcast. But he was talking about how he's a musician, and it was really cool. When I was out in California, I got to spend some time there, and he brought me to me and JM and a couple of guys that were there, Will and Gabe, to his studio, and we went to the studio, and he like was playing music. And he has a guy, I'll show you the videos, another guy who's a black belt under him, Eric Campella Cruz, shout out to Campella. He's like basically Eddie's rapper. Like Eddie's a producer, but Eddie also plays guitar. And he plays the keyboard, which is dope. Then he's got another guy who plays guitar and raps, and then there's another dude who plays guitar. So like it's pretty dope. In like a place like, it's like this big. And there's just shit everywhere. There's wires and cords, and like he's had it for 10 years. The studio, it's like, and he just goes in there and he just play loud ass music and come up with songs and shit. And he mixes rap songs with like rock songs. Pretty cool. But why was I telling this story? Oh, because he was saying nowadays, because I said he's a musician. He always wanted to do that before jiu-jitsu. So he said nowadays you don't even have to, it's not about talent in the music industry. It has nothing, whoever's the most successful has nothing to do with who's the best. It all has to do with whoever the record company wants to push through. Oh, this type of thing, here's how we'll set the trend. Here's how the trend's this, let's go out and pick a key, you know what I mean? They'll just take anybody who is, needs that type of money or whatever like that, and they'll just put them on. It doesn't matter who's the best.
Geared more towards the younger generation than it is like to the older generation.
Right, yeah, definitely. But why wouldn't the younger generation like actual rapping?
I'm baffled. I'm baffled
because I thought it was rapping, but now like would you say maybe T-Pain started it? You think T-Pain started it? Well, he might not have started auto-tune. Like guys were definitely doing auto-tune before that, but he was all auto-tune all the time. But he was funny though. Like that Freaknik shit and like, you know what I mean? All that stuff. T-Pain's the man. I like T-Pain. But some of the guys, like, it's not even real. It's not even real. Like, what's the dude with the red hair?
If you listen to, like, a song, they say basically 5 things.
Yeah.
They'll say a line, and then they'll repeat the chorus, like, 8 times.
What's the one guy who's got, like, the real deep voice? There's just a lot of guys who suck. They're just not good.
I have no idea.
And listen, back in the day when it was Dr. Dre and Eminem and, you know what I mean? And all the guys.
That's the type of stuff we grew up on.
Yeah, that. And then even before that, with Wu-Tang and like, all the older guys, like even Exhibit and Master Ace and all these guys, even the underground crowd scene, there were a lot of good guys, but there were still guys who sucked. Yeah. There's always going to be guys who suck. They're like, you turn shit on, you'd be like, what? Let's get this out of here. You know what I mean? But even the guys from, what's that one group that used to just rap about like, it was 2 Live Crew. Remember 2 Live Crew? They were crazy as shit. Their raps were like the dirtiest raps ever. Yeah. But they could rap though. Yeah. They could actually rap. Like even though it was like I would get grossed out just listening to a 2 Live Crew album. But still though, they actually rapped the songs. And dude, so many MCs, man. There's so many guys. Like remember Jay-Z and Nas, like them going at it. Jay-Z's still good. Nas is still good. They're not great. Like Nas's album, I thought was pretty good. Jay-Z is You know, but there's a couple of songs I'll listen to.
His content
you know?
is a lot different than his old content.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's Illuminati now with Hillary Clinton stuff. He's rich out of his mind. He don't have to rap about the same stuff.
Illuminati.
You know, now he just raps about numbers all the time because that's all he's seen in his bank account. I turned a 36 into a 350, a 350 into a 110. I bought that shit for $2 million. Now it's worth $6 million. All he does is talk about. It's all about freaking numbers, dude. I can't understand. And then a lot of the other guys fell off, and there's still a couple of dudes. You know, but that's why like dudes like Redman and Method Man aren't freaking billionaires because they just rap and they're not, you know.
Redman's still putting out more content.
Yeah, but it's not. You don't ever hear about it though. That's what I'm saying. You gotta, guys. You gotta dig. If you want to get the good shit, you gotta dig in the crates. So now,
the mixtape game was good back in the day.
The mixtape game is dead, son.
Like Shaw Money XL. Remember that guy?
Yeah. He was putting out mixtapes, right?
Yeah.
And then there's Tony Touch. That was the original ones that I heard.
Yeah.
The Tony Touch albums with Big Pun and all them.
Yep.
And then DJ Clue. You know, DJ Clue is
DJ
now in
Kid.
your area. And then Who Kid? That was that one. And then Funk Flex, obviously.
Honestly, I think
remember the 60 minutes of Funk, Volume 6.
I was talking about the time, like I liked more of the content that was on mixtapes back in the day than I did on the actual albums.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like someone, like let's say, you know, there were guys that always had hitters on their albums, but dudes would put out like a full album, and you'd be like Fabulous, for instance. He'd put out a full album, like 18 songs, and there'd be like 3 good ones. The rest were like, you know, pretty much girly songs or like songs, you know, for like the masses, the population, if you will. And then his mixtapes though were like when Fab came out on DJ Clue, dude.
Yeah.
What you would, dude? It was like I would go over to that place in Allentown. It's on MacArthur Road. It's not. I don't know if it's there anymore. It was like a underground set, or maybe I forget what the name of the other place was. What was the name of the clothing place? Villa? Nah. Villa's like a new spot. I hate Villa. I'm talking about
I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
They used to have one at Palmer Park Mall. It's another mom and pop shop that was dope that probably got pushed out. But because of the way, you know, things are, they have to like have franchises in now. But it was mostly,
you could buy mixtapes there, right?
Yeah. They had mixtape. They just had, what they would have is the cover and then the song, the track list under a glass thing, and you would come up and say 3 for 15. And like, you know, when you're when you're a white boy walking in there, sometimes like, you know, there ain't that many white people around there hanging out at those spots. So, and not that like I ever felt weird or anything like that. Everybody was always mad cool. I just walk in, dudes, you know, it'd always be either, you know, heavily black or Spanish people, and they were always dope as fuck, you know. I'd come in and they'd just be like, hey, what's up? What do you guys want? Just buy mixtapes. And a lot of dudes were pumped that I like mixtapes, you know what I mean? They're just like, oh, you like this shit? I'm like, damn, give me that one or whatever. And yeah, like people, that's the thing. Like Allentown, like totally different than you know, where we grew up in Bethlehem, you know, South Side, Bethlehem.
It was
completely different.
Put out like 27 G-Unit radios. And they were all like 15 songs long.
And they were all good. Yeah, G-Unit's like the originators on, you know, putting out millions of mixtapes. I mean, honestly, that's how 50 Cent got popular, right?
Remember they had like Dan Aykroyd on one of them?
Yeah, dude, they had all types of crazy stuff. They had Steve-O, this G-Unit Steve-O mixtape.
Anybody who was like popular at that time, because I think the Ghostbusters were doing like a remake of Ghostbusters and stuff. So Dan Aykroyd was
really? Hold on. Just keep. We're gonna end with this. I'm gonna see quickly if I can find, the Steve-O G-Unit. I don't know if that's even possible. Could that be on YouTube? Probably not.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Steve-O. I just want to hear Steve-O go, I'm messing with the G-Unit.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts. They had so many people back in the day. I always tweeted not Young Buck, Lloyd Banks, and I kept tweeting him lines that he would say for years. And
did he ever?
He followed me back one time.
Oh, nice.
Because I think I said like,
I can't find it. There's a bunch of random stuff.
It was like Mr. I Don't Feed a Bitch or something like that, and he like followed me back immediately. Yeah,
if you just keep tweeting him all his ridiculous lines. Hey, Lloyd Banks is good, man. That's what I'm saying. Those guys, I hope they still got money. That's what I hope.
And I would
them.
tweet all of them at the same time. Be like, listen, I just want one more album with like everybody. Obi Trice, Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, Stat Quo. You know what I mean? Like all
the
those
guys.
Yeah. Red Spider. Who the hell is that guy? Or where the hell did he go?
Remember for a while, like Mace. Mace became a priest, and then all of a sudden he was a priest. He was. I mean, you guys remember Mace with P Diddy and Biggie back in the day. He was just gangster rapper, and then after Biggie died, he like turned into a priest, and he was like doing everything. He was like doing like masses and everything like that for like years, and then all of a sudden G-Unit just re-upped with new dudes. Like, remember that? G-Unit every now and then would be like, yo, we got MOP now. We got... They just keep signing guys. Yeah, they signed Mobb Deep. They signed... and Mace. And then Mace was on that one song. There was like a song on the mixtape with Mace where he was just talking about shooting everybody. Yeah. And I was like, what the... Complete turnaround from priest to
remember Puff wouldn't sign the deal?
Yeah, so G-Unit was mad about that.
50 made like a couple disses towards him.
Yeah, 50 Cent was mad because Puff Daddy wouldn't release Mace from a contract from the 90s.
To the white parties in the Hamptons.
Oh yeah, he was mad at that. I remember that one. What the heck, man? There was so many beefs. Like, a lot of guys don't know about the mixtape game, and even now, like, I mean, you were just talking about the Stretch and Babalito thing. Yeah. Like, we were talking about all the freestyles back in the day. Now,
check that out on Netflix. Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that is good. I think I recommended that before, but check that. They put up all the old rappers. They're all freestyling and stuff, and that's how dudes would get on. You'd have to actually rap. Right. Like, you'd have to come up on your talent, and then after that, you could get production and the whole nine. Now, the people are getting production before they're even found.
Now it's like Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, dude, I'm all for people getting famous and making money and doing their own thing and living off the grid. That's cool. But it's just wild when you could just have. I feel like you could have zero talent and you make it. But that's not their fault. That's the fault of the people who are buying this shit. Stop buying it.
My thing is like I think there's so many other people out there like us that still want that old music. You know what I mean? That those like Eminem just re-upped with that album he just dropped.
Right.
And he was rapping like his old, like a mix. I think it was like a mix between all of them.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't rapping like the old Eminem, but he was kind of rapping like the new, and he just sounded good again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, I even liked I like Pusha T. I really like him. I like what he's putting out. Like, he put out Kanye produced it, but he put out an album of like 8 songs.
Yeah.
And like 6 were good. And like 2, I was like, eh. And I'm like, dude, maybe guys should do that. Like Jadakiss and Fabulous put out a CD. That was pretty dope. I like that. Method Man and Redman should put out a CD. How about Method Man, Redman, Jadakiss, and Fabulous? That'd be insane. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why the guys just don't do it. They make money.
Times have changed so much.
Plus, I feel like they could make that into its own genre of like, everyone's doing the mumble rap thing. These guys are doing the freaking,
gangster rap.
Yeah, and these guys are bringing back actual rapping, and then it's like they could just come up off dissing guys who mumble rap, and they do. Some guys.
Eminem did it right before, where he just dropped a surprise album, because that's the only way to do it now.
Smart, yeah.
Before, remember we tried to get like 2 weeks early on like Kazaa or something like that, or LimeWire.
Yeah. Or you used to be able to go to certain places and get CDs early. You could get them like a week. Right. Like, it will come out on a Friday. You could get it Tuesday.
Yeah.
I remember a 2 for
like pre-ordered.
Yeah. You could pre-order. But I remember one time I got the D12 album and the G-Unit album same time. They both came out at the same time, and those both albums were gangster. So, yeah, that's our wrap update. So hopefully you guys out there, if you guys have any freestyles that I possibly haven't seen before, or an old freestyle that you think I haven't seen, if you hit me in the DMs, I will send you a t-shirt if you find me something that's good that I haven't seen, because I've probably seen everything, but we'll see.
Follow me, Matty Ice on Instagram.
Oh yeah, Matt, you want to give any shout outs real quick? Go ahead.
Just shout out to the whole crew, the boys.
Them guys.
Yeah. Them boys still riding on them dangs, bro.
Yeah, shout out to all Matt's friends. Been chilling with those guys for years. I love you guys. Thanks for doing the podcast. I'm gonna get JM. Like I said, I'm gonna get JM on, and we're gonna bring back the Finishers podcast. We're gonna have me, JM, Thor, and Ross gonna produce it, so we can just talk all about the stuff that just happened. And I'm gonna get Kat back on because she's got a lot more info for you guys about different things. I've been drinking celery juice every morning, and honestly, I've been feeling pretty solid. And I just want to recap all that stuff and just keep everything going. So thank you guys for listening. We got about 45 minutes with that little break, which is pretty dope. So that's what I'm trying to shoot for. But once again, Zach's Corner podcast. Peace. If you're looking for an organic vape CBD, you can go to vapebright.org and you can use a promo code Finishers. You get 10% off.
I love Vape Bright. Now, for only $6 a month, you can get inside access at finishersmma.tv. Just like if you were training at 10th Planet Bethlehem yourself, there will be approximately one class each week filmed and uploaded to the site, along with extra technique videos being uploaded all the time and any seminars that Bethlehem hosts. For $6 a month, you can get access, or if you're looking for bigger deals, there's 2 discount packages. You can pay $30 for 6 months, which gets you 1 month for free, or $50 for a whole year, which amounts to 3 full months free. So go to finishersmma.tv now and get access today. Beautycounter.com/Catherine Beck. Or you can check out my own personal website, blog. I've got some Beauty Counter essential oils, recipes up on there. Lifewithcat.net, CAT for cat.